start streaming here. Connect software to start streaming. Okay, good. Oh, yeah, I already told it to start streaming, didn't I? Condition, health, make sure everything's where I want it. Yeah, I'm going to be back and forth for a bit. I am doing the Deacon Walk in accordance with really T. Susan Chang. Um, Depending on how you're familiar with her, different variations of her name. I don't really know her, but I listen to a lot of the guest podcasts that she does, things like that. So, first things first, let's, yeah, I can use that. Make a copy of my template. It needs to be renamed. 09 space of air Gemini, which is the Ten of Swords. I put some feelers out on Instagram earlier. It's like, do any of my friends in these circles want to do a chat live stream? Current bit rate is lower than recommended. That's fine. Currently at 0 views and staying that way. So this double click, open it. Probably need to close a few windows over here. Or reorganize. Good. I'm going to be back and forth for a bit. If I do, I can pop out chat, right? There we go. Get this a little better. I'll pause that so that I can get more bandwidth dedicated to what's coming out. Okay, that's what I want to do. Move this tab just that. I have too many of these open. Tab to group. Group. Oh, and close that. That. Hey, hi. I recognized your avatar. I don't have my glasses or contacts on because I want to look better while I'm streaming. Maybe I can put them on anyway. How are you doing? Oh, this does help. I didn't do that. Sorry about glad to hear that. Yeah, I thought I'd do a general sort of hangout. Right now, I am doing I don't have my books up on my table in case I need that for something. Yeah, I did see the stream, but by the time I was able to look, it was over. I saw the Zodiac. Um, I am doing this. It's a year-long project. It's see if I can lift that up closer. 36 Secrets: A Decanic Journey Through the Minor Arcana of the Tarot by T. Susan Chang. And it's literally a year-long project. Like right now, we are in the Ten of Swords season, which is the last third of Gemini. Oh, I didn't see that he streamed. Um, yeah, this is the newer popular book. Yes, it's I think she's self-published through Amazon. It's like a $30 book. But this is the newer one that a lot of people are doing. She referenced a book called 36 Faces, which is kind of rare these days, I guess. It's not an easy find. So we're going with her book. um, yeah, if you look around Instagram, it's all one word. It'll be hashtag Deacon Walk. You'll see other people do it. There's also a YouTuber, um, at least one, who's doing that, and I can get the name later. But yeah, literally about once every 10 days through the course of a year, you effectively meditate on the tarot card that corresponds to the current day of the year. And the reason I have my books on the floor and one over here on my side is I'm going full Nerdsville. Oh yeah, that's where the chat went. I put it in a new window. Hold on. Got it. But yes, this is the book that we're doing right now, or that most of us use. Is 36 Secrets by T. Susan Chang. And Chang and M.M. Moline wrote this massive thing. And this is just my favorite book on the subject. It's probably the one I've referenced the most. I feel like my reboot in 2019 was perfectly timed to go along with this getting released early in 2021, because this came out right when I was hungry for it. Because yeah, I have been reading since 2010, but I really wanted to know more about this style. Yeah, it is. And my personal journal is over on my bookshelf, but I do have my personal journal is over on my bookshelf, but I really, between an online course I took that was strictly Rider-Waite Smith, and then this one that's a little everything, I really fleshed out my journal. Hello, Night Daughter. Merry meet to you as well. So what I'm doing right now is the Susan Chang, T. Susan Chang inspired Deacon Walk. I have some cards out if anybody wants a couple, but which book was it? Tarot Deciphered on the list? Yeah, that one's, as I said, co-written by T. Susan Chang and then M.M. Moline, who really comes at it from a very, very strong Thoth perspective. Uh, so, yeah, I was passing the time doing that. Oh, I just saw lightning, and I think my window is getting covered in rain, but I don't think it's going to be. Yeah, tarot just. Yes, yes, that is. I think we all have our one book that we connect with, and I'm glad we're friends too, Night Daughter. And I think we all have that one book we connect with, and after 11 years, finding Tarot Deciphered was that just old, that amazing find. Like, this was the one I've needed to read through this whole process. I'm almost out of water. And I am really scrambled, and I'm glad to see you both. And I was planning on just sort of talking to myself for a while. I'm happier this way. I know that this is my Tarot of the Vampires, probably my most used deck. And this is the Trip and Wait Stars Edition. And this is a Ciro Marchetti deck. I'm not sure which one. That's the only thing I can tell you what's in every one of these bags, according to the print, except for the three Ciro Marchetti decks I have. I can usually feel his Tarot of Dreams because it's thick. This one is, oh, that is my copy of the Mystic Palette. I think I prefer the Tarot of Dreams, so I'm going to go with Ciro. Oh, thank you, Night Daughter. I was so glad that you actually invited me to that. Put that aside for just a, you know what, right now I've got these two, and these are fun. I've got my Hill style and my Rider-Waite style. I cannot say thank you enough for getting me involved with that. We had a great chat after you had to step aside too. It was really a wonderful time. Let me see. Now I set up that new blog at andrewarcana.com. I'm going to put some of this here, but I mean, I literally just have two word processor pages that end up being correspondences and then correspondences of the correspondences. I am definitely of, I think M.M. Moline gets credit for really corrupting me. Gotta do a study. Yeah, you could. It is. You were the one who told me it was health style, and I went back and looked at the book. In fact, I can almost reach it. The book fell down here. But yeah, if you know how to look at the Star and the Emperor, then you really do get a feeling of where he was coming from. So it's funny because I've had this one almost since the start of when I was reading. It is my most used deck. I would say it's the second most treasured deck in my collection. I do have a backup. Of course, I made a nice, fun vampire bag. How are my songs coming along? I slept really poorly this week, and I was working on this coding stuff, getting that blog set up for myself. I set up a second one for my brother. And then I set them both up on the same web server, which was a new level of nerdiness for me. I'd done things kind of like that, but not exactly. And yeah, I spent like 2 days in total nerd mode, a couple days just doing, several days just doing chores. So the songs are still in the exact same place they were last time. Man, if I could do I can set up a screen share and kind of show the Reaper or the project files. Oh yeah, that's the one. But yeah, there haven't been a lot of movement, and I'm also kind of thinking about this project with my brother. I enjoy being a nerd too. Oh, hi, Joan. Um, yeah, I just thought I'd start this up, give everybody more chances to talk and get together and do something public. Sign qualities. I can copy and paste that from my other. Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh good. That's going to save me a lot of time. Sign qualities, because this is Gemini 3. I've already done Gemini 1 and 2, so I can just copy and paste that. Sign Gemini, modality is mutable. Gemini is mutable air. Ruled by Mercury, sign pulled Jupiter in detriment. The major arcana associated is the Lovers. Some other stuff here. The sign motto, I think. Some other stuff, because it's the sun and go ahead and do that. Soul and Mercury This isn't on screen on purpose, kind of like my personal behind the scenes stuff. And then I'm going to post some of this to my blog now that I have that set up. There, that. Cool, cool, nice. This is, I'm gonna have to look in the chat in just a second. I want to type this up. World by Go. That's me doing some total nerdy stuff. Oh yeah. No. Is it? Oh, wait. I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. I haven't had to face this question yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, back to chat. Oh yeah, you're at work at night. I remember that now. Yeah, I hope that you're well. I hope everyone is well. As I was explaining, I'm doing this, the year-long project where every 10 days or so, all the number cards in the tarot from 2 to 9 are associated with a minor arcana number. All the, I'm just going to get my pill stack. It's in order. Something which delighted a recent in-person teacher I had. And when I say it's in order, I mean it's in order and then it's in more order. Toth deck is in. Oh, I put it over here. Hold up. So the idea being, you start on March 21, the spring equinox, and March 21 also is the first day, roughly, of Aries, the astrological sign. So Aries is split in between 3 deacons. So the one sign has 3 deacons, which would be the 2, 3, and 4 of wands. And look at that. And then you go into Taurus, which would be the 4, 5, and 6 of Earth, coins, pentacles, discs, whatever. And then you go into Gemini, where we're at right now, which is or Taurus would be the 5, 6, 7, and then Gemini 8, 9, and 10 of Swords. So because we're in the last 10 days of Gemini out here in the real world, we're in the 3rd of the Gemini cards, the 3rd deacon, the 10 of Swords, that poor person on the beach with all the knives in their back. Yeah, Ultraviolet, I will always recognize you right away from that avatar. Now, the other thing I'm doing is I am not reading what Susan Chang has to say about each card until I've written my part. That may... I want to see what my thoughts and my connections are, and sometimes it's been almost identical. Got that. I've got... trying to figure out how many of these books I feel comfortable showing. I also have this from just Susan Chang herself. And this, I guess if you're going to read about the Thoth Tarot, you've got this. And then maybe if I flip this upside down. I've got 4 more books here. What kind of notes do I take about the deacons? Well, what I'm doing actually is using this as an excuse. I want to get better with the astrology. If you look at this, it'll, somewhere you'll see the symbol for Sun, and somewhere you'll see the symbol for Gemini. I want to get better at that. So I let me see if I can actually get them to show. It's got to refocus the camera, and I'm doing this thing, but Okay, yeah, right there at the hilt of the bottom sword, you can see Gemini. And it might be that jewel in that where those two bottom swords meet is the sun. Oh no, right up top, right under the number 10, that orange circle with the dot in it. There's your sun. And all the way at the bottom, looks like the Roman numeral 2, and I'm doing a bad job here. That's your Gemini. So what does it mean? What does the sun mean in reference to this? What does Gemini mean in reference to this? Um, and so I'm taking all of these notes. Um, what does the number 10 mean in reference to all of this? So one of the interesting things here is that 10, in a certain way of reading, 9 is actually the height of the element. So the 9 of swords would be the height. The swords reaching this, and then 10 is the sort of last gasp, but it's also the transition from the 10 of swords into the ace or 2 of earth, discs, pentacles. At this point, I just call them usually by element. I get so nerdy about this stuff, and that's why I was saying Tarot Deciphered was really the book I was waiting for 11 years. Yeah, I do have, I guess, I easily have 3 decks at my disposal right now, but 2 of them aren't shuffled. Need to buy fewer. Yeah, I did that, Ultraviolet. I bought. I actually had to go to. I found one at Target for a decent price, and I built what I call my forbidden bookshelf. Although all anybody has to do is come in my door and look to their left, and they'll see it. Once I became a nerd for like this style, the Tarot of the Vampires, and this is my Hermetic Tarot. The black and white deck and the black and white bag, really easy to sort out on purpose. Oh yeah, I've got my trip and wait. I've got 2 that are shuffled right here, and I got more I can reach up on my shelf there, grab. If so, yeah, I guess I'm being a little cagey because basically, once you've read Tarot Deciphered, you'd be able to make a real good guess what these other notes are. But part of why I'm being cagey is I'm still learning in such a learning position here that I don't really feel I'm that qualified to speak about these things yet. This is where you kind of stop reading tarot and you really get into what they were thinking when they made these decks and they made these decisions way back when. I'm going to prepare that, have a there. I really should have done this a while ago, but I didn't. There's that. I have element. Or I can copy and paste this element. So the swords are the element of air, which is the hot and wet climate of the card. Air is associated with the major arcana of the Fool, and then a couple more nerdy notes. Associated court cards. Oh wow. I have to go to my chart. Let me also go check on chat. Found the new store Doc showed using. Oh, only using Amazon for books. Yeah, I do Amazon. The last couple of books I bought when that was more possible to do were actually at my local supply shop. Crystals, candles. I actually took a class there on tarot recently where the teacher was so much more of a nerd, and I actually asked her to humble me. Said, I've spent a lot of time alone in a room with books, but there's a difference between reading books and knowing things. And part of why I was there was to have somebody with real world experience talk about that experience as opposed to what I'm doing alone in my room. That's with books. Bookworm, a compliment. Yeah, I say bookworm because I mean I think the shelf was like 14 inches deep, and there's one book and my personal journal still on the shelf. So I've got about a foot tall stack of books at my feet that I'm all going to use to cross reference writing about one card. So, um, and so I will say bookworm, kind of to keep the edge off too, because we all have different styles of reading. Some people are incredibly intuitive and wonderful at it. One of my friends here in Austin, he's going to be reading at an event tomorrow professionally, and he went and got oh, I know what deck it is and I'm forgetting, but he has one Rider Waite Smith clone. Um, and what he did was he would go to bed at night and take this deck with him and just look at the cards um, and focus on them, look for the symbols in the cards, and just get familiar with this one deck that he loved. And he still uses the deck now, 13 years later. He reads professionally with it. He's bought a few copies for events and such. But he went super, super intuitive. He's an incredible reader, and he's built a incredible career from my perspective. The trick is that wasn't how I connected. I needed to have my foot tall stack of books to cross reference everything and do math with it all. And so I always put a little bit of humor in it as a way to acknowledge that mine is different and that's all it is. And I even really, really love that our approaches are different because I want to learn, and I learn from people who've just taken the opposite approach that I do. So the humor, in short, is meant to be a judgment-free zone. I've always, in all aspects of life, there are things, friends I've had who very opposite from me in very important ways, and I love hearing them speak because if I never listen to them, how do I know I'm doing the right thing for myself even? But if I do listen to them and I'm grateful for my friends, it's also a more inviting world that I'm building for everybody. That got really philosophical. And I need, I have, there it is. Since I was a teenager, I have always written code with a gallon-sized bottle of water at my feet. And it's only lately that I've been refilling a smaller bottle, which I've also lost. I am winning tonight. Well, of course, I have to do this in the dark to get that real spooky atmosphere going. Keep that goth aesthetic. Well, bottoms up. I, that's the lid to my water bottle. I'm going to move this for a second. Being a nerd is thirsty work. Oh, okay, it looks, actually I did start writing something, separate file here, where it was easier to, there we go. I hadn't really started my real file, so meditations, paste. There we go. Oh, take a look over here. Do I have any of PC's books or her daughter? No, I don't. There came a point. I've got the top shelf. I've got a bookshelf with 3 shelves on it. I've got the top shelf here. There came a point where I started reading books that would like mention tarot in passing, as you can see the lessons they're trying to teach in certain tarot traditions. But yeah, the most recent 4 books or so I bought just went further and further off the deep end, but I like it. That's what I was going to say. Let me get to this deck again. Okay. This is the way that Moline and Chang will do the deacons here. How about Cassandra Clare Lay-Berto? Actually, I apologize, but no again. Chang and Moline are really big influences. I also do have the Book of Thoth, which was written by, if you know, you know, and 3 books by Lon Milo Duquette, starting with his understanding the Thoth Tarot. So Gemini is card 6, the Lovers. That's 9, the Hermit. There we go. Chariot, Lovers, and the Sun, because this is the Sun in Gemini. Star, the Moon, the Sun. Yeah, people might get a little uncomfortable. You say certain names. That's all. And the funny thing to me was I'm also a fan of a musician whose newest album just went. Just a little? I think so. I turned it the wrong way, I think. Let's try. You know, it's just not gonna. That's okay. But yeah, a musician I really, really admire also really started using a lot of symbols from this deck in his newest album. And oh, I don't know if I just froze. Let me okay, I did not freeze, but when I looked to see how I was doing, that was not the face that I want to see myself make. Sorry about that. It was actually the newest album by Andrew WK, of all things. He is a trickster. We have known since YouTube is not. I am frozen. Okay, let me go see if I can kick. It looks like OBS froze and then restarted. Open widget. It does look to me like OBS is doing things again. So, am I still frozen? Okay. Is the video still frozen? Yeah, all right. I tried to zoom in on these cards. And it does look like the video is back. So you've got this. This is the Sun in Gemini. The major arcana that corresponds with Gemini is the Lovers. And the Sun corresponds with the Sun. Although if you have as your planet, if you have the Moon, that's actually the High Priestess. But if you have the zodiac sign of Pisces, that would be your card, the Moon. it got a little confusing there, but that's fine. So part of the process is to look at, this is the card we're meditating on, but to look at the two cards that relate to it. And am I still having video problems? Okay, I don't think I am. I need a second monitor. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, oh, and that's actually part of why you would do that too. Oh man, this is when I did Paula's stream, I was very, very careful to use decks that were a little more modest. Not a. I'm just trying to put a couple things back here. There we go. Oh, obviously, yes. That there. Okay, everything seems fine. So yeah, so that's the general. That's part of the idea. If you really want to get into, a lot of these cards relate to a lot of the other cards in all kinds of different ways, but it sort of does and doesn't matter when you're actually reading with them. You know, this is a fun way to really dig into each card and meditate. But when you start reading, you start doing other things. So we've got air here, which is also. I've shown a card that had naked. Yeah, I mean, TO does it all the time. Oh man, what was that deck? And the Devil Woman on the pomegranate. That was both amazing and yeah. Oh wow, yeah, Lucy Cavendish. I think I can almost immediately see her art style if she's. I'm gonna go take a quick look here. Lucy Cavendish. I didn't do that. Okay, yeah, she different art style than I was thinking, but yeah, very very strong art style that I did recognize pretty quickly. Um, and go back over here. Yeah, I mean, some of these cards, that part of it too is if I was ever to really start reading for other people a lot, in live streams, in mixed company, um, there would be a little bit of concern about that. It's like, what is their comfort zone with seeing the human body? So, you know, to me, it's part of everything that comes with the uh, basically with looking at the human soul. You can't really separate the soul from the body except in one obvious way, but we're all still alive, so the two are connected. Yeah, as I've said, I got so spoiled on that Denise Lynn Oracle deck that only one other deck has really compared since then. Um, Denise Lynn's Sacred Forest, and then the other deck was the Darklight Oracle deck by, oh no, I can't pronounce her name. Carol Ann. The Denise Lynn one, wow, I mean, in general with Oracle decks, everyone I've seen has generally studied the books and the media and literature that comes with it. And Denise Lynn went so above and beyond with the book and with the meditation audio. And that was my second Oracle deck, and it's uh, the word spoiled. It really is the most appropriate. Why do I have things here now? Okay, so let me take a look here. Yeah, I just had one sentence written about the Ten of Swords, which is about the sun's influence. Um, too much sun or too little sun will throw life out of balance. Crops will wither under weight or barely grow under too little. The right amount of sun will nurture life and bring prosperity. And that's, again, I'm still in my fact finding phase on this card. Newt and Soul Helper are gorgeous. Yeah, that was, I had to admit that last review unboxing I did, which was the Dan Stokes Gothic, so much of that presentation was just amazing and beautiful. The one, this one. Yes, I reused the print, but this is a small deck. That's the Toth, and this is the big deck. So that's the trip and weight. And this one, I'll see if I can get it to show up in the stream. That's the back. It's not the best card stock, but oh hey, that's the Lovers again. Oh no, is it? No, it's the Two of Cups. This one might really show it. The Page of Cups. I'm gonna. This one. Like you can see the stars actually twinkling. This is so much. I really, really. One of the last decks I want is the Black Light Tarot that these same people make, which does glow under black lights. But if you don't get in on the crowdfunding, their decks are expensive. And I got this for about half. I got it on the crowdfunding, so I got it for about half of what it would be on their website. But yes, so much fun. I know. I do want the black light one. I mean, right now I've got basically for light, I have a candle here. I have the light coming off of this camera. I have a purple LED light. I know, I mean, even that one's a little. This one was so cool too because they did give it a really um, I there are so many types of people here, but they did it in a way that uh, it felt like it was true to everything they did. Um, to me, at least, is I just felt like they nailed it with this deck. So this is this and the Little Buddha are my two feel good decks. I still keep the Light Seers around, but I mean, how can you feel bad with it? It sparkles. And this is, I believe they call themselves just Tarot Collectibles. Let me look. Tarot Collectibles. Yeah. That's it. If I do that, I'll go straight to the page to there. Let me see. Contact store. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, they're doing the winter weight with the stars. That's okay. They do the groovy weight, which this is not. This is the triple weight or trippin' weight. I'll post a link here. Um, yeah, it's honestly I told Paula about it because there was one deck I'd been pining over for a long, long time. It's really, really super personal to me. I might talk about it in private, not on stream. And I finally got it really at the perfect time. I'd been saving up. The tax return came in. I went and bought the deck, the book, the whole works. And that really was the last one I felt any strong pull to purchase. the black light tarot might be fun to even turn off all the lights, put a black light right here, and do some streams. But I think according to my spreadsheet, I have 49 unique tarot decks. As I said, I've got a backup of this one and a couple other favorite decks. Full things like this, and I did put a star on that file. So there, tarot deck list. 42 unique decks. Oh, and then when I add the Oracle, that's 6 more. So 48 decks in total, but only 42 tarot only. Did I shut down? No, I didn't. But as I said, I bought this in 2010. I think I said something in the last stream I did. I got, the more I learned about how I read, the more I kind of focused in on what I wanted and needed out of a deck. Oh no, I have actually no idea what I did to embarrass myself, but people were laughing. And for real, I have been a comedian. I'm a prize-winning comedian. I won a jar of the prize for that competition. It was a jar of Amish jam that they bought off the internet, and that was their joke. So I had some very delicious jam that I won for miming out some absolutely terrible stuff. So many decks. Yeah, I started reading in spring of 2010, and it was on and off. And some of those decks, oh, I left it in the box. Like the magic manga. This thing was, who's the German group, like UG Moeller or something like that? I guess they haven't printed this thing in forever, so it was like a $200 tarot deck that I bought for 12 bucks. What was the question? Because it sounded like you were asking whether the toilet paper goes under or over. So I answered the question that I heard. And the other thing that happened too right then is everybody else froze for me for about 10 seconds. So I had to come back, ask what the question was, and then answer the question I heard, whether or not it was the question you were actually asking. So it literally did sound like you were asking whether the toilet paper roll goes over or under. Okay, that was the question. Yeah, I'm an over person. That's actually there's the well, okay. The trick to that though is the last 2 places I've lived have put the holder in the worst possible position. Like, I am glad I took yoga classes a few years ago. Your neighbor bought 2 decks for $3. Oh, nice. Yeah, actually, when I took the class, I told the teacher about this one. This was the Hermetic Tarot. Yeah, basically, yeah, it is, some of these people working on these houses have got to come to the conclusion that some of us are human beings who only bend in certain ways. So really, that is not the time when we want to be stretching and contorting and doing things like this. So there are certain times where I go chaotic neutral on the alignment chart of it. But this is, oh, I'm almost in the right place here. I remember there was a question that you had answered. Like, I do remember it's like, You thought the question was a different question. And yards, yeah, I found this of all places at a Goodwill. Let me make sure I'm in the right. And it was this box of a tarot deck I'd never heard of before. And here's our Ten of Swords again. It's the Hermetic Tarot. Tio puts it on his stream sometimes. At a Goodwill. And I had been a stage magician. I don't really have anything I can do on stream. But I'd been a stage magician. So I was looking through all their playing cards. They had a huge bin of them at this Goodwill store. And I see this for $3. Like, I don't even care if all the cards are there. For $3, I'll try a new deck. And it's all here and it's all complete. And again, you can see the sun up there and the astrological symbol of Gemini here. And this deck is what led me to being a nerd. I felt so confused and lost trying to read with it, and it made me think that maybe this was why I couldn't. Maybe I needed to know this stuff to really jumpstart my intuition. Point of our lives is to have fun, and it was definitely nice. That is, I've definitely had some challenging times, and stuff like that is why I really. Oh, I know. I keep every time I look around, it's like, you know what? I think I've got tonight off. I think I can just go visit a stream. I'll check the front page of YouTube, and I'll see his comment that that he's not streaming that night, and then I'll get busy with a project for a couple days, and the stream starts, and I still have notifications on. I normally wear a Fitbit right past these things, and it'll buzz every time his stream starts. So, and I'll just be like doing the stuff that I needed to do. Yeah, $3, you can't beat it, and that's what led me into the doing stuff like a deacon walk and total nerdsville. But it also helped me find how I am able to work with all of this. So I was really, really glad. Oh yeah, I wanted to copy and paste this into the chat. Or maybe I did. Yeah, I did. I blanked out there. And yeah, they also at their store, they have that black light tarot that I really, that's like really the last one I want, but it's so expensive. $70 before shipping. I get the feeling it's coming from the UK, unless they found a way to ship from the United States. Spring Sibylla. Oh wow. I'm trying to see if I can quickly find the shipping. But yeah, I think if I remember right, it has to ship from overseas, so it is expensive. I think I need to clean in here again, but I think the oh, it's right here. That I am a fan of this particular artist. Very definitely remember to focus on what's good in your life. And my maybe I'll post it to Instagram. Somebody got a video of him pointing a microphone right in my face. So, and I'm using that on one of my social media sites as on one of my personal. What's this? Oh, I know I went live. Thank you. Oh, oh, good. Yeah, that's. put that out. If anybody wants a card or something. I wonder if Joan had to disappear for her work. Participants. Yeah, it looks like Joan. I am always glad to see things start working out for me. There was one other. Was that it? I think that was it. Trying to get my template together for when I have time to myself, or when I'm not streaming and I dig back into this. I am so glad to hear about the reconciliation, Night Daughter. Um, oh yeah, I mean, some of the people I associate with have very different faiths from my own. I think I'm actually way just too curious to uh, uh, in that was the other another part of the tarot thing for me is I specifically kind of ducked out of some of the more cruel things that were around me. I said I'm going to go look for the human soul, and that's when I actually was going into online Buddhist sangha twice a week. I obviously all of this and some of the different faiths around that. The first thing I did was ask um, any kind of faith or philosophy that I could find, what is their view of forgiveness? Because there wasn't a lot of forgiveness in the communities around me about 5 years ago. That was my question: is how do different religions view forgiveness? How do different philosophies view forgiveness? Um, and that was really an interesting trip to be on, because I was also very selfishly comparing what I was reading from these deeper sources to what was happening uh, in my communities. Both, so I used to be a comedian in town. I had to go, but also I found some really wonderful people in the places I went after. So things worked out there. I Oh, it is. Yeah, it's like it might actually be one of my like my litmus test for for new things. Somebody asks me, or if I'm challenged with a new idea, just keep my ear to the ground. It's like, what does this new idea feel about forgiveness? I really found I saw it at times. They said it was attributed to Buddha, and other times they said it was not anything the Buddha said, but is wrongfully attributed. But it was something that was very common in a lot of things I found anyway, which is there are two types of fools. One never asks for forgiveness, and one never grants it. One who never asks never grows as a human being because they've never looked inside. And the one who never grants forgiveness never grows as a human being because they're stuck in the past, just mad at whatever they're mad at. I I can't prove or disprove that that is a Buddhist uh, form of thinking, but it was one that stuck with me. But yeah, that's what oh man, it was awful for a while. It was people who I'd known as friends for years just lost it. And the things that they were saying, which is something I was not strong enough to continue being around. Um, I A lot of them meant well. I'm not going to come out here and say it. They were bad, awful people. Earthy, nasty, whatever the queen. What I'm looking for on this card. Yes, see. So I hit the books. I chose peace. Uh, yeah, this wasn't. I much prefer to reconcile. In fact, I actually have gone back and spoken with a lot of them. One of them, one of the reasons I left comedy, he did find me at a public event. And he tapped my shoulder and tried to say hi, and I was so terrified to see him because of what had happened. He kind of understood and he quietly walked away, which again, I respect that. I literally shrank the moment I realized who was touching me. Um, just that knee jerk reaction after everything that went down. Yeah, it's like the one thing I will do is try to wish peace and wellness on people. There's a lot, um, wish peace. Even, you know, it doesn't make sense to me to wish ill on somebody because if they hurt me so bad that I want to wish ill on them, they probably already have to live in their own head. But if they can get over that, then they're not going to hurt anybody else either. So, so if only for that reason, kind of hope that we can all find some healing. There are, yeah, definitely a couple hard times in my past. And I don't mean to make light, but also I'm glad to see my friends. I'd rather have some fun. So this is. Let me look at this in the light. Ruin. Yeah, you can't. You really can't. But if you hold the grudge, you end up helping them hurt you. Something I learned a long while ago after holding that grudge. Like, I already kicked them out of my life. Why am I helping this person continue to hurt me? And it sounds so easy when you say it that way, but doing it sometimes it isn't very easy. The Lord of Ruin. There's another thing I do is both just calls it ruin. Sometimes they will have different ideas, and they call it the Lord of Ruin. And you'll hear Theo talk about the cards in this sense too. Lord of Defeat, Lord of Ruin. Um, yeah, anything else I'm going to have to do off stream, and that's fine. Yeah, actually I think I have told one of you two why I left comedy. I actually did reconcile with somebody who I'm pretty sure was responsible in seeing that I got hurt that way. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, I had to. One of my grandparents as well. I had to just sever ties with. Wished her well. But that was that was going to take me a long time to genuinely and honestly forgive. And I kind of can. I can see where this relative of mine was in pain. Yeah, don't give, but it's so, at least for me, I can say for me, it's easier said than done sometimes. But at least if we can remember that, then then we can be on a path to some sort of healing or something better. Now let's go ahead and do it. You know what I meant to do that I didn't? I was going to actually go through my journal where I wrote down some favorite spreads and do something more than my 5 card that I'm stuck in. Let's do something with the trip and weight here. Sort of a people following just to annoy you. What? Um, I actually do I still have moderator in in your other stream? Uh, Ultraviolet and I had been friends since shortly after she showed up in TO's stream. Again, that's where I try to come from, is also that place of gratitude. I am thankful for friends. Um, or just a general gratitude practice is something I found that what's oh shoot um but general gratitude practice was something that I found that I'll say thank you sometimes way too much. Like uh stopped for coffee this morning and made sure on my way out the door I still said thank you to everybody who helped me, even though it's their job. uh, I will had this actually been something I've done since I was about, well, since I started playing guitar. I'll finish. Okay. Um, yeah, I will be honest. Well, there. Oh yeah, yeah. That's. Um, I grew up on the other side of the state, which was still. I made the trip like two or, not counting trains. I've only made the trip once, but I think it was still about a 5 hour drive each way. Um, and then when I was in college, we made a trip for our business club. I had no idea. This was decades before I even knew who Ultraviolet was. And oh, I do. I try to say thank you, and yeah, I try to be that polite person. I'm thinking. I was talking about reconciling with a friend. We were. I actually went and got pancakes. We thought that sounded like a fun thing to do. I went and I got ordered what they had on the board. It's their vegan special. They told me they had something completely different. So like, okay, I'd like to order the other vegan special. They came back with a third kind of pancake and said it changed again. And yeah, yeah. I'm down to hear from both of you in message in private. But yeah, to me it was just fun. You know, I know some people have gotten upset, but how dare you not have the caramel walnut pancakes? I was like, I'm having fun talking with my friend, and thank you for your helping me serve pancakes. The only thing is, I'm never getting the decaf at that restaurant again. I've done it twice, and I don't think they gave me decaf. Either that, or their idea of decaf is very different from mine. Both times I barely slept that night. I'm getting the tea next time, but that's not the server's fault. Um, yeah, it's just such a better way to live, I think. I am actually tired. Oh man, what happened? Something happened where I just haven't been able to stay asleep. Um, I'm waking up an hour before my alarm clock, and I don't want to. And I spent about 2.5 days doing all that website configuration. I spent a day after that doing yard work and chores and in the Texas sun. And I spent a day resting. I didn't have a choice. Um, I'm surprised I've been lucid because I've been on autopilot most of the day. But maybe that's also the state. Let's just do like a 3-card thing for anybody who sees this. The collective. I don't know that I believe in it, but it's fun. I hate saying that. I mean, obviously, I believe in this in some way, but to me, it's a meditative thing. So, a meditation for the collective. I can believe in that. I read, meditate, and look in on myself. Let's do our main card, and then we'll get a couple to get the feel what that main card. So, this isn't a past, present, future. Well, let's see what our main card is, which is our Four of Cups. 2, 3, and 4 are cardinal water. 3 water signs are Pisces. The cardinal water will be whatever we're going into, which would be Cancer. Yes. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Let's see how. Oh, all right, right away. Just to get the vibe of this card. This is more of a toast style thing to do here. But we've got the Queen of Cups, or the Four of Cups. The King of Cups here, kind of the fire of water and the earthy part of fire. Kind of comes out to a neutral zone here, but there's still, I would say, a little bit more support for this than not. So our meditation be, and let me actually go to a place where I make sure that they're showing up on the screen. Sparkling appropriately. Yeah, it's not coming out as perhaps the most important thing in the world, but still some importance in there. It was almost what I was saying about gratitude practice. Just take a moment to remember that got this nice new cup coming our way. Oh, it is. It is. This, like this actually, this replaced the Light Seers as my feel good deck, but it couldn't replace the Little Buddha. I still keep them both on my regular reader shelf. Oh, I know. I mean, I want to do this, but then again, you just kind of see it sparkle. And who is? Early on, I started following several tarot YouTubers, and oh, I can almost think of her name. There is one I follow. She does the sort of collective readings, the pick of cards. Let me see if I can pull up her name real quickly. I haven't really watched her in a long time. Okay, yeah, Moonlight Guidance. I'll post a link. Actually, you know what? While I'm going to post links, and I'm going to come back to these cards. She uses a lot of these tarot collectible decks, and she's how I really found out about this company. I want to post a link to someone else while I'm here. It was, and I know I put this in a different social. This young woman is making a tarot deck, one card a week, and she is 54 of the cards done. She's got like 134 subscribers, but she is actually making a deck in real time while we get to watch. Not real time, she's not live streaming it. But yeah, Moonlight Guidance, I think, uses the not sparkly trip and weight, or she might be using the groovy weight from time to time. And I found her about the same time I found the Tarot Oracle. But this Lilith's Attic, she didn't know I'm doing this, but I would just love to. My Tuesday morning routine is to brew a French press full of coffee, and just to watch, just listen to this woman talk about the next tarot card. In very strong Rider-Waite Smith style, with her own style of black and white art. I think it's a shame that she's 2/3 done with the deck and nobody sees it. So I want to support that small creator. That's really the big thing, is support that small creator. Because I think that should be a larger, medium-sized creator, at least, doing something cool like this. Anyway, back to this. You can almost see the gears spinning in my head. It'd be, this is 3 cards down the road, so if I had to guess, I'm going to say this is the moon in Cancer, where I'd be doing this card in the Deacon Walk. Very much about our feelings, but you know, the gratitude practice where you take a moment, take a deep breath. Yeah, these 3 cups had flat Mountain Dew in them. And we don't even like Mountain Dew, or maybe we do, but not flat. But this one here, there's something happening here. I'm certainly guilty of being this person with his arms crossed, like, you know what, everything's, I mean, no, it's totally, it'll be fine. I said this is me, more of a, what I would call a collective meditation, something to think about. Would be, I mean, there's a reason I goth up for these. I am naturally a goth type of person. There's a song from the Ministry album Animosity Samina that's been stuck in my head all day. It is right now, even. Almost all of my clothes are black, and I joke about it. It's like, well, I can do all my laundry in one load, and that's good for the environment. So for me to kind of point this guy, I'm this guy a lot. More than I want to be. Which is why I have some whiteboards hanging up on my door with things that I remind myself to do. One of them literally says, get more sleep and get more motion and drink more water. trying to think. Some of these are like super personal, and some of these are just uh, are somewhere in between. And it was nice to, embrace my life with joy, things like that. So yeah, please, it's okay. I do understand. I'm rambling and I'm getting way off track here. Blessed be to you as well. And yes, definitely message me when you need to. I should be going to bed, and I'll run this till the end of the hour, I think. Yeah, just a collective message. I'd say gratitude prayer. We've got this cup with the page is in seeing something new. And the King of Cups would really be suggesting almost as the fiery part of water, almost like get excited, uncross those arms, reach out, see what's there. Now, it's not wrong to have feelings, but ask yourself if maybe you can see a reason to recalibrate a little. And then reach out for this cup that's coming out the clouds. I would say, yeah, gratitude practice would be my meditation. Something I need to do more often too. I'm always saying thank you, but as far as really sitting down and doing it, and I used to even tell my meditation groups, if you practice gratitude when things are good, it's so much easier to do when things are challenging. For these, I know. All right, sorry, a couple of notifications to turn off is um that looks like so what I may do is just end on this note. It was really good to see everybody and to hear from you. Your gratitude. Yeah, it can. I mean, right now there's some stuff I haven't put on really, really, yeah, appreciation over gratitude. I guess I hadn't really made the distinction of that. Yeah, I'm sorry, the gears are spinning. I hadn't ever really made the distinction because if there's something that's bringing happiness to me or even stability and security to me, it's very easy to look at it from time to time and say, you know what, thank you. I had it and I moved it. Oh, this, my guitar tuner. I started learning guitar when I was 19, and every time I tune my guitar, I tell the tuner thank you. I don't even, that wasn't even a gratitude practice. Work I picked up, but I kept it up. It's a small thing. It doesn't even have feeling. Gratitude can feel uneven. Yeah, I can see that. You okay? I guess yeah. I think I can see where that's yeah. Like saying thank you as though it was expected of you. I think I can see that. To me, it's appreciating with enthusiasm, and I latched onto that term gratitude practice. But definitely, yeah, with enthusiasm is really the way to go. Again, this fiery part of water that came up. Then the meditation would be my natural way to appreciate something that's good. I should probably take a little bit of my own advice too. I'm sad goth. This guy. Anyway, it was great to hear from everybody. I will try to make it into one of To's streams soon. Um, hopefully the schedules work out, and I do hope that you have a great night. Anybody who's still here to see this, gratitude. Yeah, appreciation can feel more enthusiastic. I'm guessing. Yeah, it feels more even, feels more sincere. It's coming from inside. It's not coming from some list of things that you got to do. Being great. Oh, and yeah, and grateful is a subordinate way too. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I definitely can latch on to what you're saying there. Oh, I think I. Yeah, because one thing every one of my friends eventually says to me is, Andrew, you are worth that. Um, and yeah, that sort of gratitude, like, am I really? Yeah, I at least in my filter of what you just said, I think I can maybe not perfectly relate, but sort of start meeting what you're saying here. But I'm going to take my own advice because I need to, and and yeah, I'll keep an eye out for the next time there is a stream, and the next time I'm not working on a coding project or going through job boards or mowing the lawn or doing the things I've been having to do. And I will definitely talk to everybody soon. And thank you for stopping by. It was great to chat and hang out for a while. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that one. Yeah, you should be grateful for all I've done. Oh. Or yeah, the way I've generally heard that was, yeah, not I should be grateful, but that I was already being ungrateful for the favors they were doing me. Oh yeah, I got you exactly now. But hopefully we're all in a better place now. We lived, we learned, and no, yeah, I totally get it because my perspective would be enthusiastic appreciation. So to rephrase what I said earlier, when you can appreciate things when times are good, it is so much easier to appreciate the good things that are there when times are challenging. Um, yeah, I get it now. It's a perspective thing. Oh yeah, that is one I struggle with too. That is one I have. I've fallen for that one in the past myself. Um, so I am going to have to say goodnight. Looks like I was going to stay for another 10 minutes if I could. Oh, I'm freezing up. There it goes. But it was really great to talk and catch up. And yeah, I'm freezing up again. Going wrong here. Okay. Anyway, all right. I hold on. Chrome in its entirety is mad at me. Oh yeah. No, I get with that. It was actually really interesting to hear the distinction. I didn't feel attacked. Um. Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I wasn't always in this position either. So I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope things are looking up for you and that you're in a good place and that things keep getting better. And I am sending best wishes to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful night.